So I got this question from a friend of the channel. Any idea how to make chicken breast delicious and juicy? It often gets dry and tough. Now, I thought about this a lot, and after buying about 4 kilos of chicken and doing a lot of research, here are my top 5 tips on how to get better chicken breasts. Now, this video isn't about how to create the perfect chicken breast. There are plenty of tutorials for that online. What I want to give you is a range of tips on how to get better chicken. Then, based on what time and equipment you have available, you can choose to use all of these tips, or just a couple, or even just one. Whatever tips you use, I hope it gets you closer to that delicious, juicy chicken you've been searching for. So let's get started. First up, let's tackle the #1 reason for dry chicken. Tip number 1, stop overcooking your chicken. If you're not using a thermometer, you probably don't want to risk undercooking your chicken, so you'll end up overcooking it. And if you are using one, you're probably overcooking it too. If you search for safe temperature to cook chicken, you'll get 74 degrees Celsius. While 74 degrees Celsius is the standard for instant bacteria kill, cooking your chicken to 64 degrees Celsius can actually be enough. Killing bacteria is a function of time and temperature. This table by the USDA shows how long chicken has to spend at different temperatures for it to be considered safe to eat, killing the same amount of bacteria. This thermometer has 8 temperature sensors and it checks the temperature every 5 seconds so I can graph the results. The chicken cooked to 64 degrees Celsius stayed above 65 degrees Celsius for 8 minutes, double the time needed to make it safe. It also cooked 4 minutes faster and it was far juicier than chicken cooked to 74 degrees Celsius. You don't need this thermometer, any meat thermometer will do. Just cook your chicken to 64 degrees Celsius and let it rest for 3 minutes and you'll get far juicier chicken in less time that is perfectly safe to eat. Moving on to tip number 2, salting or brining. Simple salting or brining can help retain moisture since salt changes the structure of the protein in the chicken. You have 3 options. Number 1, just salt. Meat is perfectly seasoned with 1 to 1.5% salt by weight. Sprinkle about a teaspoon of salt per half kilogram of chicken, rest for 30 minutes to 2 hours, then pat it dry and cook. Number 2, wet brining. Mix a 7% brine solution, meaning 7 grams of salt for every 100 grams of water. Soak your chicken for 30 minutes to 2 hours, pat dry, and then cook. Number 3, my personal favorite, injection brining. Mix a 7 to 9% brine solution and inject it directly into the chicken. Then leave it to rest for 10 minutes. This method seasons the chicken evenly and saves you a ton of time. Number 3, get a good sear. My favorite way to cook chicken is grilling, but that's not always an option for everyone. Pan frying is also great, but chicken breasts don't always sear well due to their uneven shape. Here's a trick. Place your chicken breast in a Ziploc bag and gently pound it to give it a flat shape. This not only helps cook it evenly, but also makes for a perfect sear. You can use a pan or anything heavy to do this, just don't go too hard. I personally don't like the texture you get from flattening it too much. Tip number 4, boost flavor with a dry rub. Dry rubs instantly add a ton of flavor and amazing color for your chicken. Here's a quick dry rub that tastes amazing. Note that if you've brined your chicken, you don't need salt in the rub. This is one of the big advantages of doing the rub yourself. Otherwise, just add 1 to 1.5% salt of the chicken weight. By the way, if you have any dry rub recipes, please share them in the comments below. And tip number 5, use tasty toppings. Don't underestimate the power of a great topping. I have recipes for spicy pickled onions and homemade chimichurri linked down below. And I also love homemade salsa. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a video. Adding these toppings adds a ton of flavor, color, and also acidity, which makes the chicken feel juicier in your mouth. Chicken breast doesn't need to be dry and boring. It's one of the healthiest, most versatile, and affordable cuts of meat. I hope these tips help you make the most of them. Let me know in the comments which tips work best for you, or share your own secrets on how to make juicy chicken. Click here to see my spicy pickled onion recipe, or click here to see my chimichurri recipe. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you in the next one.